Hey everybody, and welcome to today's video. We are reacting to the absolute disaster of Assassin's Creed Shadows. This is by a YouTuber by the name of The Critical Gamer. It came out 4 months ago. It already has a lot of views. I didn't know that it came out, and I was curious about how Assassin's Creed, it's been in a downfall, but I wanted to see his, take on it. So let's dive right into it, and I'll have his link to this video down below. I want to give him credit, of course, because he deserves it.
Wow, it's really not a good time to be working for Ubisoft, is it? Not only did Star Wars Outlaws turn out to be a disastrous failure that was mocked by gamers and massively underperformed financially, but it turns out there was something even bigger and more devastating on the horizon. On the
See, I wish I could edit like that. That's perfect timing. I don't... Moving on.
face of it, Assassin's Creed Shadows sounds like an easy slam dunk. An Assassin's Creed game set in feudal Japan, the land of ninjas, samurais, epic sword battles, and absolutely bitchin' haikus. It was practically tailor-made for a stealth combat series like this. Then the trailer came out and we got our first proper look at the game's protagonists.
Not a great plan.
Now, I'm no historical expert here, but I'm pretty sure that a gentleman like...
Yeah, they chose the guy of legend, and they said legendary. I don't... All the people they could have picked for, like, this role, because I understand, like, they have a female ninja, that's whatever. I don't care about that, whatever. But they chose a dude that was possibly alive for this, and said, fuck it, we're going to use that, and I don't... They could have chosen so many different.
This would be a bit out of place in 16th century Japan, which wasn't exactly known for being a multicultural melting pot, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, they're pretty
Gamers
racist.
were quick to pick up on this as well, only for Ubisoft to argue
really
back that their main man was based on the real-life historical figure of Yasuke, a black man who came to Japan with Jesuit missionaries before serving under Lord Oda Nobunaga, and was eventually granted the honorary rank of samurai. We won't mention the fact that he was only taken in by Nobunaga as a kind of traveling curiosity, that he never fought a single battle or duel, spoke very little Japanese, only served under the man for less than a year, and that he was given back to the Jesuit priests and disappeared from historical records.
So he got to roleplay as a samurai. That's what he got to do. He said, hey, put on the armor, and he never, like he said, he never fought in a battle, he never did anything, and then eventually he was given back. It's just, I don't know why Ubisoft chose him for this.
After Nobunaga was killed. But sure, I guess one fragmented and misinterpreted historical example is good enough for Ubisoft to turn him into a superhuman ninja assassin and give him his own game. And anyone who questioned that state of affairs was clearly nothing but a racist bigot who needed to do better.
Oh, yeah,
now that's fine when it comes to casually dismissing the criticisms of Western gamers, because clearly their opinions don't matter. But the one thing that Ubisoft hadn't counted on was the Japanese reaction. See, it turns out that Japanese people are pretty protective of their history and cultural heritage, as they should be, and if there's one thing that's guaranteed to piss them off, it's some asshole foreign game studio appropriating and completely butchering their history and culture to push a political agenda that means absolutely nothing to them. Truly, the
Yeah, if companies give in to the woke idea, if that's what you want to call it, or injecting things where they shouldn't be, it makes people upset, and it makes your customers not like you. That's just how it is. I'm a mechanic, so if I started talking about sales like I knew anything about sales, my manager would look at me like I'm crazy because I don't sell cars, I fix them. They should focus on an area, be it Italy, Greece, Japan, the Viking areas, wherever they sailed in that Assassin's Creed game, but they need to stick to those people in that area. That's like having a slave that became an assassin in Ezio's trilogy. No, it's about an Italian dude because he's from Italy. I don't know.
message had finally found its nemesis. Before you knew it, Japanese gamers were completely up in arms, and what had started out as a minor controversy over here in the West quickly exploded into a full-scale backlash. Shit man, the question of this game was even raised in the Japanese parliament. It was that bad. And Ubisoft's bold claims about respecting Japanese culture and history soon started to fall apart under any kind of scrutiny, as Japanese gamers and historical experts began finding all kinds of mistakes and inaccuracies, like Chinese architecture in Japanese cities, flags and banners that never actually existed in real life, the baffling decision to give the game a hip-hop soundtrack,
Damn, Ubisoft. You know how bad it would be if I gave one of my coworkers a ride home who was black and I was like, oh, I know what you like, and I turned on Ice Cube. That's so bad. Oh, God.
kill him! And perhaps worst of all, the licensed character statue of the game's female supporting character perched on top of a half-Tory gate. Which is a bit unfortunate because in Japan, that's an iconic symbol of the atomic bombing of Nagasaki, so needless to say, it didn't go down too well. Even a friendly New York Times article that tried to put all the blame on Western audiences and pretend that Japanese gamers were totally cool with the game was exposed as bullshit when the so-called Japanese expert they interviewed was revealed to have worked for Sweet Baby Inc.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I'm sure he provided a totally unbiased view of the
I've been doing that this whole video.
All of this negative publicity resulted in a tidal wave of criticism and scrutiny directed at Ubisoft themselves, and it wasn't long before people like Legendary Drops and Endymion began to uncover some pretty damning testimonies about the workplace environment there. According to their sources, the original intention for this game was to feature a Japanese protagonist, only for Yasuke to be swapped in several years ago to reflect the cultural atmosphere in America at the time. That's the problem.
See, like I said, you start swapping shit where it don't need to go. Obviously, with how everything's going, it didn't turn out well. Oh, man. I can say that from what we've seen in the game, yeah, it looks good, but everything behind it, I'm sure, because the story's been going downhill since Black Flag. The world building, it's find 5 bajillion collectibles and stay busy, and I think they even had cosmetics you could buy in Valhalla, which it's a single player game. Why Ubisoft makes me mad.
With trying to jump on a trend that's unique to one particular part of the world and can change just as easily as the wind shifts direction. It's very easy to get left behind and end up looking like a fucking fool. But I think the most interesting revelations had to do with the culture at Ubisoft itself. According to their sources, it's a company that's basically ruled over by HR with an iron fist. The kind of place where putting an exclamation mark or the wrong emoji in an email is seen as aggressive and threatening. A place where the message takes priority over all other creative considerations, where criticizing other people's ideas is frowned upon, and you have to constantly walk on eggshells in case you get summoned for a disciplinary meeting for saying the wrong thing.
Boy.
Well, if you're in a creative field, art, games, movies, anything like that, you need to be able to actually speak to each other, criticize and throw different ideas in. If you're in a space like Ubisoft and you're not allowed to be like, hey, I don't think that's a good idea. We already had a character set aside, built with a backstory and everything, and someone says, hey, let's put Yasuke in there. That's like, no, you got to be able to voice your opinions and be able to effectively communicate when doing this kind of thing.
That escalated quickly.
The end result of all this stupid shit is to create a culture of toxic positivity, where every idea, no matter how retarded, has to be given equal weight, where every person, no matter how whiny or incompetent, has to be afforded equal respect, and where it's almost impossible to produce a good end product because nobody can ever be challenged to do better.
Yeah.
It's the logical end
Everyone's
result
whining.
of allowing
It's
your
not good.
organization to become infested with ideologues and perpetually offended serial complainers, instead of actual productive workers who are motivated to make something great. People who just refuse to accept criticism or different points of view, who aren't interested in working hard to bring out the best in others. People whose only real priorities are themselves. And where exactly...
On a side note, I know with all the problems in this game, if you take a gander at other studios, like FromSoft, who release nothing but bangers, Iron Core, Souls games, all of them are amazing. They're allowed to communicate and talk to each other and throw ideas in and say, hey, what if we did it different or do it this way? And everyone's allowed to put their 2 cents in without worrying about, oh, well, I'll hurt his feelings if I tell him that his idea sucks, because it does. No, if your idea sucks, it shouldn't be in the game.
did it get them? Well, Ubisoft have been forced to withdraw from the Tokyo Game Show in absolute humiliation because they know they'd get destroyed if they dared to show their faces there.
Yeah,
and more damagingly, they've had to delay the game itself, which was supposed to be one of their big launches this year, to at least 2025 while they scramble to fix the problems they've created for themselves. Will they actually remove Yasuke as the protagonist? Probably not, if I'm honest, because if they did, they'd have to deal with a full-scale internal revolt, and it would be seen as the ultimate victory for all the toxic gamer bros out there. The thing is, the negativity around this game has grown so huge that they'd probably be better off not releasing it at all. Once you've burned your reputation with your game's audience, it's pretty difficult to get it back without a major course correction, and I really don't think they have it in them at this point. You truly do reap what you sow, and I think 2024 is the year that Ubisoft found that out to their costs. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Go away now. No, that was a good video. No, I believe that Ubisoft is absolutely done. They've been on a steady decline, and this is just the nail in the coffin. It is over for them. Well, let me know what y'all think. Did y'all like the video? Make sure to go to his video and like it if you watched it on my channel, because he deserves that. Like, subscribe. I do reactions and I post gaming videos if you want to see just random different things.